Today, we are going to be looking at a very tragic quote from a very well-known play, Julius Caesar.
Cowards die many times before their deaths.
This was ironically said by the great Caesar himself, who in the end died not as a valiant, but a coward who couldn't see what the hell was happening, even after the butt-ton of warnings. Seriously, never thought someone would die in a Shakespeare's play, said no one ever. It's Shakespeare, guys. People die.
The valiant never taste of death but once.
This quote also compares itself without even trying to. I mean, it says that when a person runs away from a challenging predicament, they die a little bit inside, basically damaging their pride if they even had any to begin with. If you haven't noticed already, all of Shakespeare's plays involve at least one handful of deaths. The reason behind his death row approach is in the fact that all of his characters have an unavoidable fate resting on their shoulders. Cowards die many times before their deaths? You know it was William who wrote it when someone only has 5 minutes of screen time. This quote also shows that in both parties, there will always be a different outcome. I mean, it literally defines a man that fears everything and will run away like the coward he is, and in the end, dies. Spoiler, many people die in this one. Long story short, whenever a coward runs away, they lose what little dignity they have left, if it even existed. Since valiant means brave, a valiant person will only face death once, when he takes his last and final breath. In simpler terms, brave dudes don't die till he's already dead. We see it all the time in Shakespeare's plays because he is known to involve at least one or more deaths. Basically, William is just a person who finds death to be necessary and a thing that is bound to happen in the end. One thing we find a little bit off the top is the amount of stabbings it took to do. Like, what the heck? 23 times? They stabbed Caesar 23 freaking times? If that's not commitment, I don't know what is. To be frank, the play was surrounded by betrayal, jealousy, greed, and lust. If you were to ask me, it just sounds like a bad marriage that's just waiting for the divorce papers to drop by. Shakespeare had a certain way of writing. We can clearly tell it was William's art when someone dies being a hypocrite. Like, seriously? Caesar, you just told us you weren't a clueless coward, and yet you let your best friend kill you? I mean, who dies like that? And that early in the play? I mean, come on. If I died that early, I wouldn't even have gotten out of bed. Speaking of getting out of bed, do you think Shakespeare gets up in the morning and says,
"Today is so beautiful. It is time to kill someone. You can't have people looking happy. I want them to be enraged and filled with sorrow. That's the way I like my people."
In conclusion, the quote is about death, whether it's figurative or if it happened in reality. Spoiler, Caesar is as dead as Melanie Martinez's career. But even so, there was always some sort of lesson to be learned behind Shakespeare's work. So far, the only thing he taught me was that we should kill the brains out of our characters and leave no one standing. That is the way of Shakespeare.
Amen and good day.
The color